Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Stamping in the She Barn. I have lots to show you today. My apologies to you for not making my 4:30. I'm gonna fess up. Sam and I were up in Cambridge and had to pick up some things from Fleet Farm, and we thought we had a little bit of time, but we stopped at Applebee's for some lunch and it took a long time to get things. So we kind of were stuck having to wait for our meal to come. I'm going to move this just a tad over. Wait for our meal to come. And since August was my birthday month, I got a, that ought to make you good and sick, this wiggling around. I got a birthday dessert. And with my birthday dessert, I don't know what took it forever, but we ordered a blondie, what the heck was it? A blondie something or other with ice cream. And the dessert took forever to come. The meal took quite a while to come. So it pushed me way late, and that's still about a 25-minute drive from there to our house. And of course, being that it's Labor Day weekend, we got stuck in some traffic. So it's quite an interesting little jaunt. So my apologies. So I am on here a little bit early. I am going to probably, let's see, what do I want to do first? Well, if you're on there, you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I think I'll give you a teaser with the card I'm going to make today. That is the card. Maybe I'll move this over a little. But I have made a few other cards with this set too. And these are, we did a thing called, I'm going to move this little guy over. We did a thing called Creativity Now. And in Creativity Now, we were able to pre-order this stamp set. Actually, I could get the whole suite. So I got the whole suite, which has paper and twine, embellishments, a folder, hi Lynn, a folder, I think I said all of it, paper, stamp set dies, embellishments, twine, and an embossing folder. So we made these items at that Creativity Now. So here's kind of a little sneak peek of what we were able to make. There is, this one's probably not going to quite make the picture yet, but we're going to do this one today. And I have a tutorial for all these that we got with it. So my special today is if you use this host code and you order $50 or more between September 4th and September 8th, and the reason it's not until the 4th is because it's in the new mini catalog, and hi Leanna, and the new mini catalog does not go live until the 4th, you will get a kit to make each of these cards. Now, if you choose not to get the winterly treetops, then you will still have the kit, but you'll just have to do whatever your other stamping is to create with this other card. I'll have these die cut out for you, so that will work. Let's see. So you just got to order that between the 4th and the 8th using that host code. If your order is over 150, of course, don't use my host code. You will still get 2 little kits of these, but you will be able to get your own rewards if it's over 150. And I would not wait. I wouldn't hesitate, especially if you want to get any paper, ribbon, embellishments, because you know we have all those demonstrators that offer paper swap, or not swapping, paper, whatever the heck they call it. Lynn, help me out there. All I can think of is exchange, but I know that's not it. But anyhow, a lot of demonstrators offer that. And then what happens is all of a sudden those are out of stock for a little period of time. So I tell people, don't don't hesitate. Order up. That goes for my Hostess Club too. If you're in my Hostess Club, which Leanna, you are, I have that host code out there. This is mine, but I sent you guys the new host code. Shares, paper shares. Thanks, Len. So I sent you the new host code for the Hostess Club. So if you're interested in any of that, you may want to order early, get it shipped direct to you. So I am going to set this aside for now, and I want to share with you, we'll get to making that later, I want to share with you some other things that are in the mini catalog that I was able to pre-order that I liked. And of course there's many more, but you have to stay within your budget. That's what we learned. So this is called the Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. It's not as large as some of the folders. So for instance, this folder that, oh, I don't have it labeled yet. This folder is called the Birchwood 3D folder. You can see how big that is. This came with the Winterly Treetop Suite. This is kind of our standard size embossing folder. 3D, so you know you got to use it with that colored plate. But I just was playing around today and I embossed with it, and then I took a blending brush with some Lost Lagoon and kind of went over the trees so it would stand out a little bit better to show you guys on camera today. So put that over there. Let's see. We have, these are little gems. They are called Regal Foiled Adhesive Backed Dots, which I'm sure this came with the suite that I got. So these are the different colored gems, and you can see the little bit of gold foil in there. I just want to share one other thing with you guys, and my hostess group knows this, but when I open my embellishments like this, I don't usually open, now it's going to make it look harder too, I don't usually open the end that has the sticky part. I slice off the sides so they can come in and out easily. So that's those. Let's see, this is something quite interesting. These are called Woven Gold Leaves. It says on here, peel and stick, be careful not to touch the adhesive or you'll lose some of its stickiness. That is wrong. We have gotten these, and this is what they look like. Let's see if you can see it on there. Maybe I can. This might help a little easier. But they're just a leaf petal like this, and they are not sticky. So people have been just using glue dots to adhere them down, and they're kind of different. They're kind of a mesh. I'm just going to see if I can fold it if it would stay. Well, it kind of stays, not much, but it's a mesh, so I think it's going to be a fun accent to put behind branches and things like that. So set that one aside. This one is called Faux Glass Dots. This is what those look like, and these are our colors. You know what? They don't tell their colors on here anymore, and I could snoop through the catalog page, but I'm going to take a guess. Probably pumpkin pie, old olive, Cajun craze, and maybe daffodil delight, possibly. So there's another one of our embellishments. Put those guys back in here. And then I got the Shepherd's Care. This was $1 million salesperson. So when anybody in Stampin' Up gets to $1 million in sales, they get to create their own stamp set. I am not there yet. I'm working on hitting my 400,000, and I'm close. I'm probably about, I don't know, 8,000 away or so from that. So hopefully I'll get to that soon. But I did not put these stamps together, so this is basically what they come and they look like. These ones are called cling stamps, so people that don't know about that, they have stickers that go on the back of the stamps, and you have to assemble those together. That might be something I can share in a video on how people put those together at some point. I think I might do that. So Shepherd's Care, I just really like that. And then, here's another little embellishment. It's called White Loose Snowflakes, and I had this like vision that I dump these things all over the place, so hopefully I won't. But they're small, so you can see how tiny they are. But there's a whole bunch of them, and they're kind of almost a rubbery plastic feel. But my idea with these is you could easily glue them onto some of your cards, but I'm thinking somewhere along the way this calls shaker card to me. So there's that. Then I have this stamp set called Autumn Expressions. Love it. These are fairly large sayings. This is kind of something I do to a lot of my stamp sets and dies. I basically put on their bundle die stamps, the numbers, and the cost of each one. This is a little different, and actually I'm going to show you the die. So this die is double like this, and in my little sample, I just have it folded up because I didn't want to take all that space, because I wanted to show you the die cut out center of that. So these little centers will pop out and you can put your sayings on there. So here I stamp my sayings and they'll fit on some of those die, that pop out die. So we have that, and then you can fold this up and make it into a purse if you would like to. You can cut this off here. This is like a hanger either for a purse or a picture frame on a wall. So you could get 2 picture frames out of this if you chose to do that. There's some leaves, more leaves. This is the die cut out for this log. This is the die cut for the wheat. This is the die cut for the leaf. And then this, I think, goes, if I remember right, goes for like hanging or closing of this purse type of thing. So I think I got it all. I do put mine on a magnetic sheet. And when I go to sell these, of course, I take my magnetic sheet out and I use it for something else. So I just thought I would share that. I do store those right in with my stamp sets. If they're the bigger ones, then I have a separate place for them. And then I usually put a picture on the back of my stamp set showing those dies. This is the Regal Flora. I love this stamp set. Here are the dies that go with it. So this piece right here, I just got to show you. That is this piece. Now, I at first thought it was 2 dies, but it's 1 die, but this outside piece right here actually cuts this piece out of that die. So then we just have some greens, or however you'd like to use those on your cards. There is this flower stamp, the triple, this flower stamp, this leaf, and then there's the dies that coordinate with those. These are my sayings that are in there. And again, I just keep that right in with my stamp set. And then I did get the suite of that. So the embellishments that are, let's see, the Regal foiled, those go with that. And then there is some designer series paper that also goes with it. And I wasn't very good. I forgot to pull these out, but let me just grab this. So this is called Regal Winter, and this is the paper. So you've got this side and this side. You have this one and this side. You have this floral with the blue backside. Hopefully you can see them. Okay, I'll move it a little bit. Another floral. Oops, that's the same floral. Another one with basically leaves and flowers and the purple background. Probably that's Blackberry Bliss. And then this beautiful one with the green background. And one final one with the wild wheat background. So that's the cardstock that goes with that suite. And then I did pick up a little bit more cardstock. This one I did not get the set, but it does go with that the embossing folder in the suite, this one. And I haven't even looked at this paper yet other than in the catalog, so let's just show you that. Beautiful foil and a solid green on the back. Then we have like golden vanilla beiges and that on the back. And then we have, I'm assuming this is cherry cobbler with gold. And this is the back of that one. And then another green and gold. And I happened to see somebody, here's the back of that. I happened to see somebody take that green and gold and use the changing leaves with it. And it was really pretty when you did the embossing folder and cut out the leaves. So here's this one and one more. There we go. So that's all of those, and that one again is the Season of Elegance paper. Then I got the Regal Distressed paper. This was in the suite too with that flowered paper. So this is one-sided. So we just have kind of a gold plaid, a red plaid, and some, what is the color of that? Pretty Peacock must be? Yep, Pretty Peacock with the leaves. So that's that. And then I have just a few more things to share with you. I did get the decorative trees. Now, the decorative trees really caught my eye in the catalog because I could not figure out for the life of me the samples that they had in there. Matter of fact, I think I can show them to you this way. Because these dies were so large, I could not. Here's some of the samples that they had, and you can kind of see the patterns on the back, and I thought, how in the world did they do that? Well, let me show you. Here is the stamp set. Here's the die cutout. These are all dies that have that pattern on there. So let me just show you those dies so you can get a visual, because if you're like me, I need a visual. So here are the dies, and they're good sized trees, but they do fit the stamp. So I couldn't cut all those out and put them on the back like I did my other ones. So that's why I opted to do a little photoshopping to it. Here's the other ones. Not sure what that is. Let's see what that goes to. Looks like this little guy with a bow. Oh, must hang from something. Oh, maybe the ornaments hang from it or something like that. I haven't been able to play with it yet. But I do draw outlines. Oh, I say I miss these little guys. I draw outlines around all of my dies. So if I'm missing one, I can easily look and see where what die I'm looking for. So there's that one decorative tree. Oh, I should put my little cheat sheet back in here. Quick do that before I lose that little guy. Oh, I have to have it open. There's 17 dies in this one. That was a lot of dies. And actually for the bundle at the 10% off at $52, that's pretty good to have 17 dies in it. Okay, so there's that one. And then I bought the autumn paper, and I seriously just had to have this autumn paper. So here is what that looks like. So we got a field of wheat and some blue background. Then we have kind of a fall sky out there with some reds and some wheat and a burgundy background, probably moody mauve background. Love the fall colors in this. Hopefully you guys can see it okay, and I got it close enough. There's a bright yellow in there, and that's probably crushed curry, I'm guessing. Some black-eyed Susans, and another, oh, maybe that's wild wheat, I bet. Here's another fall scene. I can see that with the geese shaped in a V flying south. Some blue azure afternoon. Another beautiful fall tree. And gosh, what is this? Mossy meadow on the back. Not sure what these flowers are called, but I know I've seen them around. And that on the back, fresh freesia. Ooh, that looks like a little bit of a get closer to nighttime sky in the fall. And some beautiful red trees with a path with probably, let's see, cherry cobbler there. Some more flowers with the garden green maybe in the back. Garden green, old olive. Cute little pumpkins out there in the field. My favorite color, I'm sure, must be in this. Oh yeah, Cajun Craze. You guys know I'm kidding on that, I hope. Okay, and one more little scenery here with the greens. I have a class planned, something special with this paper that we're going to be doing that I'll probably share somewhere along the way, hoping to get that done in September. Let's see, that paper was called Splendid Autumn 6x6. Okay, then I got some cards from Gold Dip Cards and Envelopes. And I think I shared with you guys before, whenever I have a card that has the fold and same on each side, I usually always cut them in half and double my packs of cards. So there's a red, here's a green you could easily cut and make. There is a blue you could cut in half and make a card with that. And then there's matching envelopes. The one thing that happens with this is if you use the matching envelopes, you're going to be short some envelopes. And these, I think, are a little bigger than our standard size envelopes. They seem to be a little bit. So you might end up needing to cut these down a little or get the larger envelopes. But that one, again, is called Gold Dip Cards and Envelopes. And then these little guys I have been enjoying. You've seen my template things that I've been using them for. Tags for the Season Ephemera Pack. So I just wanted to show you the 4 different ones that are in there. And they're set up for tags. So there's that. There's those. And then there is 3 here, so 3 more. So that's one set, and those again were tags for tags for the season. And then I have Joyful Sayings Ephemera Pack. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sayings on this sheet. Then we've got some fancy sayings there. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sayings on here. And then we have some smaller sayings for cards. So I think you can make lots and lots and lots of cards with these. Fast, easy Christmas cards. If you get in a pinch, you want to do Christmas cards and you can't quite get them all done with more of the avid card maker, these will be perfect for that. This one is called Joyful Images. So here's some of the images. There's 2 sets of 4 sheets in each one of these. Here's some more images. You got lots to choose from. Here's some more poinsettia trees, skates. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it could be good. Of course, some reindeer and snowmen and jingle bells and mittens. So that's it for my ephemera packs. And then I have one more designer series paper to share with you. And these are 12 by 12. Let me get this out of here. It is called A Little Bit Festive 12 by 12 paper. And you can see in this, it comes with 2 sheets of pages that you can pop out insides. They'd be great if you have a picture, you want to put a picture in there and pop that into it. Oh, I see I'm missing one. Getting ready to lose one here. Little gingerbread house. But I think these would be really fun to also make Christmas cards, but you could make 3D projects and put these on there. So that's those 2. And then there's, oh, look at, there's more, even more than I thought. I'm going to put these aside too, these little die cuts. And I think that's it for our die cuts. Okay, so then we have this paper, the little holly with, well, it actually looks like tree branches, I think, with ornaments and striped. And then we have this one, and this is the back of that, plaid. Then we got some little trees here, and we've got some little red ornaments. And I'm not positive, but this could possibly be the set, and I would have to look it up in my catalog, the set that is the give back that Stampin' Up! Does with some of their designer series paper. They give back, I think it's usually $3 a pack to some kind of foundation, something that they believe in, that they can help people out. Could be a food shelf, could be whatever. But I think this could possibly be that paper. So that is it for my little sneak peek of what I ordered from the mini catalog. Let me get everything back to normal here. I am going to do the drawing. Sad to say, I did not bring the card out from last week that I'm going to give away, but we can go back and look at it. I think it's the black with the pink flowers, the two little pink squares on it. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 people that left comments. Let's see. Leanna's in there. Karen Nelson is in there. Eileen Kinniston is in there. Lisa Hansen's in there. And Lynn Peterson is in there. So, okay, you guys, my eyes are closed. You have to just trust me. Let's see. Here it is. Lynn Peterson, you're on and you win. So you get to get that card. I can save it for you for the next demo meeting, or I can mail it out to you. You just leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, on to the suite for the card for today. This is called the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. Again, it's a large embossing folder. So let's see, I probably got measurements on this little glass mat or on the back of this. Let me just tell you how big it is. It's 8.5 by 6 inches, so it's a good size one. And I did just take and run it through and then ran a stamp pad over the top so that the pattern can show up a little bit better so you could see it. Yeah, hooray, Lynn. I love that, Leanna. You're such a sweet person and so kind. All right. Then we have Natural Tones linen thread. And it looks like pecan pie, I think, probably garden green and misty moonlight for those. This is the, okay, Lynn, I'll save it for the meeting. This is the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems, and this is what you get in that pack. That goes with the suite, so we'll set that aside. Then this is the Winterly Treetop stamp set. So here is my die cutting on the back and my stamp of the sayings. So here is the dies. I always leave my spare parts in there. Here are the dies that go with it. So this basically cuts out, and I did all this already today. Okay, where's my blue Misty Moonlight card? Here we go. This cuts out that piece, probably goes this way, cuts out that piece. And you just have to remember that you have to cut this piece out first and then put this on, because you're going to have a border around there. So it's up to you how big you want that piece to be before you cut your window out. This is the single bird die here. This is the double bird die here. Probably goes this, yeah, this way. Of course, that's probably, well, no, it's pretty close to size, a little smaller. And then you have a couple of branches. Here is what that looks like cut out. And then this is these two dies here. That's that one. And then One of them, if I remember correctly, now I got to figure out how I had this goofy bird on there. One of these layers over the other one, there's a branch, and then this is the die cut out of this. So I am going to, I know that this was up here, so I'm just going to put that right back on there, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out whereabouts this bird went. Easier said than done, huh? See, I don't have my outline on this one. I didn't keep that, or I have that sheet, but it's in the house, so I just put it on there. Thought maybe you could see it a little easier. So that's that one we're going to be using. And then there is a beautiful package of paper that goes with it. And I'm going to pull that up and show you here quickly. So there's this one. And this is the back side of that. Then there is this one, which has the Stampin' dies that have that same pattern. And then a birch look. This is beautiful paper one. It'd be beautiful, cut in half and made 6 different cards out of that. Oh, and there's the back. And then we have these birds, and I believe, let me grab my dies, because I believe the dies do cut out some of these birds. Yep, so your double bird cuts out that, and then your single die bird, I believe, cuts out the single die one. Let's see. Yep, cuts out the single die one. So you can cut these apart real easy if you choose to do that. And then let's see, we have, did I miss one there? Nope, we're good. And then we have this one, birch trees with the birds. And, well, it's kind of upside down, but, oh, I didn't even notice there's little birds in here. I never noticed that before. So we have that one. And then we have this one. Now, this one does not have dies that cut out these birds. And then this is the back of that. So you have seen the whole suite now, and we will start getting ready to make our card. So this is the card. I got it in plastic. I'm going to pull it out. This is the card that we're going to make, only we're going to turn it horizontal. So I am going to let you guys decide if I'm going to use this one that I did or if I'm going to color another one. I already did my dimensionals on the back of this, so that'll be easy enough to put on there. But this card I colored with watercolor pencils, and then I used, and it told us on the tutorial which ones, and then I used the blends to go back and soften the color in there. So this is colored pencils, and then this I colored with blends. So which do you like better? I'll wait until you guys tell me which one you like better, because if it happens to be the blends, I have a little template. Oh, where did I put that template? Might have to just share that in the messages, because I did have it here. My template said how I colored the bird and the leaves. So I wonder what happened to it. It was in my little tote when I came out, but Lord knows what kind of mess I got here sharing the rest. Okay, not finding it. I might come across it yet once I start to get a little more organized, and if I do, I'll share with you. But I'm sure I can tell you. Let me look one more spot here. Not there, not there. Interesting. Checking my bag quick. Nope, not there. It's around here. It's on a sheet of paper that's long and skinny, so I'll find it sooner or later. So now I got to go by memory. Now that's the tough part. No, it won't be too bad because I got the blends right in front of me. Okay, so I colored, let's get rid of this one because we're doing the blends. I colored the blends with Light Misty Moonlight. Hard to tell without being able to zoom in. Okay, let me hold them up here. Okay, so that's blends. And this is colored pencils. So to me, it's much softer with the colored pencils. And I think I can get a little more depth using the blends with that. Well, hi, Linda Herman. I didn't even see you were on there. Glad you're on. So what I did is I used Light Misty Moonlight and Dark Misty Moonlight on my leaves. Now, when I did my leaves, I used the Light Misty Moonlight. Let me grab one that has not been colored yet because you'll probably be able to see it better. I used the Light Misty Moonlight to color in any leaves that had like little patterns that looked more like leaves. And then I used the dark to fill in this, and I don't even know what you would call this, but it's definitely a different leaf type of pattern. So I used the dark to do that, and then I went back over these lines with my dark fine tip of my blends just to give it a little more depth. So I think what I'll do, since we're going to use the blends, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of coloring to it. So this is the dark, just so you get the gist of blends. And I just colored in like this on those certain thinner leaves. And then on those bigger leaves, I again just used my fine tip, and I just outlined, colored in, outlined, colored in, outline, colored in. Now, we'll tell you something, that if I have a big area to color, like this bird, I'm going to show you how I color that. And that was a tip that my great grandma gave me, and I'll show you when I do it. So then I just lightly went over those lines just to give a little more depth and definition to them with the darker. So hopefully, and hold that up there, you can see how I did that and how those stood out. Okay, so I'm going to set that one aside. So I did Misty Moonlight, and then I used the light cherry cobbler for my berries, and I did not color the tip of them in. However, you could if you wanted to, and if I was to do that, I would probably use light on the little part and dark on the other part with the blends. Okay, on my tutorial that we got from Stampin' Up when we did these, they did not color their berries in, and I just felt like I had to color my berries in. So that's what I did, but there's another option. You don't have to if you don't want to. So we'll set that aside. And then for my bird, I colored with Dark Daffodil Delight, and my favorite color, hate Cajun Craze, but it makes me use it, and I do use it for fall. So I use the light Cajun Craze. So let me just share, oh, and I use the light cherry cobbler on the berries. So let me just show you how I did that and what I was talking about that my great grandma taught me. So, oh shoot, I grabbed the wrong Daffodil Delight blends. This is the one that my top keeps coming off of. I meant to throw it away, and I hope I didn't throw away my good one. Let me just see if I can get it off of there without having too much trouble here. Oh, I can't. So let me try the other end of it and see if I can get that off real quick. Yep, I can, but my tip is bad on it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, I'm going to change the color of my bird just because I need to show you this. Instead of my bird being yellow, my bird is going to be Cajun Craze, and the feathers will be yellow. So I start out with just outlining around my bird and the color, where I'm going to put that color, okay? So I'm just outlining this. Then when I go to fill in the color, I color in circles because you have less of a chance of seeing your lines when you're doing, I'll see if I can do it, when you're doing this. If I come in there and color in my circles and go over it all, it should get rid of the heavy lines in there. Now, when you're using blends, now this is light, the more you go over it, the more it softens and the darker it gets. So I want these to be darker. So I'm just going to go over it 3-4 times, and I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it here. Now, had I been using that, and I can see I still got a little bit of color I need to blend in there. Had I been doing this in the yellow, I would have done the same thing, but they didn't stand out enough for me, so I went back and used the Cajun Craze on those little dots. I just liked it better to make it stand out more. Okay, now let's go back to see if I can get this marker to work at all. I almost feel like I have to. This is such a bad blends. This is when you need to get rid of them and get a new one. But I'm just going to fill in here like that. And since I can't get to that narrow tip on there, this branch was also done in the Dark Daffodil Delight. Now, see how I went out of that line? If I had my white color corrector out here, I could go right back over that, and it pushes that color back in those lines and makes that disappear. Let's see, on the beak, I did the Daffodil Delight, and I did it like 3 times. But I can't get to that tip. I'm going to try something, which I've never tried before, but I'm going to cut my tip on my blends and see if I can get it to a tighter tip to see if I can get in there in that small area. Well, it worked. It worked, but I wouldn't. Maybe I could get a little more life out of that yet. Anyhow, we're going to get rid of that. And this is our bird, and this is our bow. So let's go ahead and remember we're doing our card horizontal this time. So I am pulling off all these little dimensional topper things. I think I just missed that one. Get that off of there. And then we're going to put that on here. And I did do a lot because I really wanted this to stand out. I think when I first did my other card, I only put them on the corners and probably one in each middle. But I found that these little bows kept falling down and losing that 3-dimensional look to it. So I decided this time I really needed to add more dimensionals on those. And I used the minis. So let's see if I can get this centered on here as best I can, because this is going to be a giveaway card. So there we go. Now we have to decide our saying, and in the little sample our saying was down at the bottom, and then our leaves were turned up this way. So we can do kind of whatever we want with this. I think I like that, so I think I'll keep it the same. So I do need to get a dimensional on one end of this. So let me do that. And then I need to put a little glue on the other end. And that's just gonna slide, I think right in here is a good spot for it. Okay, there we go. And then I have my dimensionals on here, so I can go ahead and pop those off. And I can tuck this right down in here. I think I'm going to move it over just a smidge. Yeah, I think right in there looks good. And then I have a dimensional on my little bird. So we got to put our bird in here. So we can come over here. If we go here, we kind of cover up them berries. But I think it's okay. You guys tell me, should we have the branch showing or not showing? So there's showing. Here's not showing. And the berries being colored there, I think would work just fine. So I'm going to wait and see who the first person tells me. Branch showing or not showing? So you just answer showing or no show. Oh, I think Leanna put something, or Linda, I gotta just scroll up. Showing. Okay, showing it is. So we could come over here. No, I think we need to fill that spot in the center there. So there's our bird showing. So there we go. Now we do have some embellishments that go with this. Let me put my glue away. So that is, I believe, the earth tones. Now our Cajun Craze could go with it. We don't really have any green in there, so I don't think we're gonna put green in. We could stay neutral with these. Let's just see what a little color looks like on there versus this one. That kind of hides, you don't get to see it. So I think we're gonna use some of the Cajun Craze. I think we'll put one here. And I either like 1, 3, 5, or 7. And I'm not sure where I would put any more. Let's just see what it would look like here. If we put one here and one up over here. Yeah, I think that looks all right. So there we go. What do you guys think? I will put a piece of white in there for you because I didn't bring one out with me, but I like it. Thank you, Lynn. I like the card too. So I'm going to remind you guys of the special here. Can't believe I can't find that little bird pattern that I had printed out on how I colored it. Huh. Oh well, that's how my day goes sometimes. So, special again. If you order from September 4th to the 8th using this host code, $50 or more, you are going to get a kit for this card, and you are going to get a kit for this card. Now, if you don't order the winterly treetop set, you'll basically get this piece, this piece, this piece, and a piece of white. And then this one, you're going to get this die cut, the Misty Moonlight, this piece, and some white. But legally, I cannot stamp it with Stampin' Up's rules. So you will get the parts to it. And if you don't order that, you can just put some flowers or whatever stamp set you have on there. That's going to work. So just know, if you do place that order, you're going to get 2 of these kits, and I will mail them out to you. I will also add embellishments in there. Now, I just wanted to share one more thing with you. And I will also send you the tutorials for those 2 cards. Whether I send it to you via email or put it in with the project, one way or the other, you'll get a tutorial for that. Now, when you cut that center piece out of this die, goes this way. This is your leftover piece. Save that, because you can use it for numerous other things. You could use it for a saying. You can use it for doing some blending brush techniques. So let me show you one other thing that we did that actually this was my mom's idea and I loved it. Leanna, you might remember this from when we had Hostess Club. So this is the cutout of that. Now, I have to see if this is the one that did it. This was a piece of, that came with some cards that came last year, and I just had it sitting there, and we were talking about this, and we thought, well, what if we took the blends and just colored? So we just took that white piece and did some scratching like this. Now that was light mossy meadow. This is light old olive. We just went in and we filled in a little bit with that. And then let's see what's this one is dark old olive. Oh, I want the brush tip end. And we just went in and did some of this just to fill in. Now you don't have to do all the white or not, but then when we ran it through the die cut machine, this is the look we got. And look at how cool that would be on a card. I've got this Blackberry Bliss one here. Look at how cool that would be. I think it would make wonderful cards. So fast and easy. And then you've got the option of this too. What if you took that and added a bird to it? Look at how fast and easy you could make another card. So keep that in mind. But one other thing we did on another card, and I'm just going to show it to you. When we die cut that out, on one of the templates, and actually I think it's on the card template that I gave you, it says to keep that center cutout piece. And we use that piece on this card. So here was the cutout piece. We use that to put on, well, no, I take that back. It wasn't, yeah, it was. We had it on there and we put it in like this. And then we took our blending brush and went around on there to give this pattern of the colors of the leaves. And then we turned it over and changed it up a little and did it again to give you the lighter and the darker of the two. Hopefully you can see that okay on there. But that's basically what we did with our spare piece. You could have kept that piece. You could turn it over, use this side, whatever you wanted to do with it. But it was a cool technique to do on this card. So just another idea on something you can do there. So I think that's it. I thank you guys for coming. I thank you for being here when I was an hour late. And spending, gosh, almost an hour with me going through all this. But I really appreciate you guys. Your name will go in the drawing because you left a comment on here. And next Monday, I will post whether I'm going to be here or not. Sam and I have one more vacation we can take next week if we choose to. And if we do, I think I'm going to keep it a vacation and not bring any of my work with me. If we're going to be gone Monday, I will not be on Monday. But if we're not, I will be here Monday. I could try and video again like I did the last time for when I was gone, but we all know how that turned out. So probably not the best idea with me and technology. So anyhow, thanks for the wonderful comments. I love you guys. May God bless your week and happy September. Talk to you later. Bye.